Have you heard of things like eat plantain is rich in iron? Whenever you mention iron salt, the first thing that usually comes to mind, they say is plantain. Which food is rich in iron? They say plantain. Okay. Then there's this one they also say take fluted pumpkin juice with milk. It gives iron. It gives blood. Sorry. Take tin tomatoes with milk. It gives blood. And there is this other one. They say eggs. Eggs are not good for elderly people, and so many other myths. Today, I and my colleague will be debunking this. I am Wamako Ogechi Patricia, a dietitian nutritionist, and with me is
I am Uche Natochukwu Njoku, a dietitian nutritionist.
welcome to my channel.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with milk and malt
Okay.
gives blood. What do you have to say about that?
Actually, milk and milk doesn't give blood because if we look at the components of milk or the nutrient content rather of milk, it doesn't contain iron, it doesn't contain vitamin C. And we all know that for you to have blood in your body, you need iron and you need vitamin C. So since milk doesn't contain it, and malt contains vitamin C, but the percentage of it is very little. So it cannot. There is no relationship between those two combinations giving you blood. So it's just a fallacy told us so that we'll be able to take those combinations when we are sick.
Okay. From my own perspective, we all know that the hemoglobin is made up of heme and the globin. The globin is protein and the heme is iron. So basically, if these two are not in place, there is no how it's going to give you blood. Some persons might be saying that taking it one is giving them blood. Probably, maybe they're eating other things. Aside from the malt and milk they're drinking, they're eating other foods. Maybe something that contains meat, fish, crayfish. And I'm sure they'll be underrating the crayfish,
Yes.
not knowing that it might be helping. Maybe the crayfish iron and the
Yes.
protein in the milk might then give them blood. They'll be like, oh, it's working. Oh, my blood has increased after
Obviously.
taking this thing.
And most times it has to do with psychology. Something you have believed for a very long time, you think is applying, and somebody coming to change that impression is going to take a lot of time before you adapt to it. But facts, milk and malt does not give blood.
Okay, so let's move to the next one. Fluted pumpkin extract and milk. We say it gives blood.
Like we've already know. Fluted pumpkin contains iron, yes, it contains vitamin C, but milk does not contain iron, it doesn't contain vitamin C. And for you to have blood, you need vitamin C to absorb the iron that is inside the fluted pumpkin. So if there is no equal proportion of these nutrients, you cannot have that blood. But your vegetable, yes, it contains iron, it contains vitamin C, but in minute quantity. You need an extra help from vitamin C to help it. But since you cannot get it from the milk because it doesn't contain it, those two combinations cannot give you blood.
Okay, I have something to add here. Basically, fluted pumpkin, it has non-heme iron and it has
Mhm.
vitamin C.
Mhm.
So that means the iron might be absorbable in the body. The
Okay.
milk has protein.
Okay.
Well, I think the way they're saying it, like it will give you blood, even if it will give you, it will not be in the quantity that maybe you are expecting, not
Yes.
that big.
Yes.
There'll actually be a difference in your PCV, but not like it will just give you blood.
Mhm.
Yeah, it will help, but
Not to that extent that
yes.
an individual is having in mind.
Mhm. So this other one too about tin tomatoes and milk giving blood. Well, that one is the most funny of them all. I don't know if you want to cook soup inside your tummy or stew. Maybe some kind of beverage stew though. So this tin tomato and milk thing. Anyway, what's your opinion?
I just had that one of recent. I've never heard about it, but like we all know, it doesn't. Our tin tomato is processed. Most of the nutrients
It's not even
they are
there.
not there.
It's made of mostly
If they tell me it is the fresh tomato they are using, I was okay. Yes, the fresh tomato contains vitamin C, but you still need iron, which is not contained in the milk, so it's not possible. Then you're saying you're using the processed one. You have lost the vitamin C because vitamin C is, will I say,
important
heat?
for non iron.
Yes, and again, when it goes through heat, it's lost. So that process of processing takes it away. So you're just drinking nothing, or you're just drinking sugar. Let's just put it down.
The one of plantain is rich in iron. And
Okay.
beans is rich in iron. I hear that a lot. Whenever you ask, what is the primary source of iron? Somebody will say plantain,
Yes, we
plantain.
said that way back in school.
Actually, we are taught so many things and so many researches and all that.
Yes.
Yes. So for plantain, we know that plantain is basically carbohydrate. So basically, we know that unripe plantain is carbohydrate. Though it has other nutrients in small quantities, it has very little iron. And the iron in it is even non-hit iron, which without vitamin C is not going to be absorbed in the
The
body.
body, yes.
So the whole thing doesn't make sense. But the only thing I think is happening there is that, if you want to prepare unripe plantain porridge, we use vegetable, we put
Mm-hmm.
all, we put crayfish, fish, some people put meat, different
Yes.
types of meat and
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
All those orishi combined might be the things giving you blood. You know that your meat, your fish, crayfish, they're rich in protein
Same.
and
Yes.
iron.
Yes.
Okay? Then when you combine this with your vegetable, the vegetable also has non iron with vitamin C. All these things coming together will increase your blood level.
Yes.
The carbohydrate in the plantain will just energize you. And then you now assume that, oh, since I've started eating this unripe plantain porridge, it has been giving me blood, my blood has increased and all. Not
Mm-hmm.
knowing that.
And you go about sharing the good news in quotes to people and they will believe, not knowing that actually your ripe plantain does not give you iron. Same thing as beans. Beans doesn't give you iron. Yes, so they contain this nutrient, but in very minute quantity that cannot make any impact to your body. So you cannot just categorically now go and eat only beans and say, okay, it is rich in iron. I've gotten my iron and this thing
Recommendation.
recommended and then dietary intake for that day. No, you will need something else to add to it to make up for that iron. So, unripe plantain does not give you iron. Beans does not give you iron as well.
For this bean stuff, if you really want it to give you iron, aside from eating it with all those cooking it with vegetable,
Mm-hmm.
putting crayfish and all, you also
Mm-hmm.
have to go with a vitamin C rich drink,
Yes.
preferably a natural juice,
Yes,
or
that you do by
maybe
yourself.
yes, or maybe just take it along after taking your beans. You now take orange or
Mm-hmm.
something that is
Mm-hmm.
rich in not all these processed juice,
Yes.
the one you make by yourself at home.
Yes, at least you'll be able to monitor it while you're preparing it. So you know that yes, you're getting the actual vitamin C from that fruit to be able to help the iron in that beans. If not, no
Iron.
iron.
There is this other one they always say about this plantain stuff. They'll be like, I've heard people say, ripe plantain has sugar, or ripe plantain does not have sugar. So a diabetic patient should be taking ripe plantain. You know?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to say?
Well, they both contain sugar. But the fact is that the unripe one has the complex sugar, while the ripe one has the simple sugar. What do we mean by that? It means that the complex one is still whole, has not been broken down, while the simple one has been broken down. So the body is able to absorb it, unlike the unripe that has a complex. Your body will not easily absorb
Yeah.
it. So that is just the fact. They both contain sugar, but what we advise anybody that is going to be taking it is just moderation. Know the quantity you're eating
And that
and
is what
put
we
your
always
fruits and your
advise.
vegetable as well.
Please work with a registered dietitian nutritionist.
Yes.
So they will help you know portion control.
Mm-hmm.
In as much as the unripe one is complex carbohydrate and to take a long time before the sugar will start going into your bloodstream. But you
Mm-hmm.
still need to know how to quantify them. It's not just carry plenty unripe plantain
Yes,
and you maybe
and just
carry
start eating
five
it.
bunch. I don't even know how
Yes,
to
or
express
even
like
pieces or fingers.
fingers. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Put five fingers, cook everything, sit down here and finish it and tell us that the dietitian said it's
Mm.
complex carbohydrates. I can eat
Mm-mm.
all. I just want to say you need milk for strong bones. Actually, yes, we know that milk has calcium and some are even fortified with vitamin D, which the two of them helps improve bone density. That's true. But saying you need milk for strong bone, I think that's a fallacy because it's not a need. Like there are other sources of calcium.
Yes.
There are other things you eat. Even when you go outside, the sun will give you vitamin D, which will help you to
Mm-hmm.
absorb calcium.
Yes.
Other green leafy vegetables have calcium. Things like okra,
Yes, your broccoli,
broccoli,
your kale.
kale, yes, green collards,
Mm-hmm.
fruited pumpkin. They
Yes.
have calcium. So they can also give you same calcium. It must not be milk. Because I know
Yes.
some persons don't even take milk. Some
Yes.
people don't like milk.
Yes. Because I was even trying to say, okay, since you cannot take it from milk, we can get it from bone, like animal bone. But I remember we have vegetarians in our society. So how do they get that calcium? Because they don't take milk, they don't take animal foods.
Yeah.
So obviously there will be another source, which is from your vegetables. So they can also get it as well. So it's not just in milk that can get calcium. You can get it from other food sources.
Another thing, we know that spinach is actually high in, spinach actually has high calcium content. Everybody knows that. People always say, whenever you say calcium, aside from milk, people always say spinach. That's the first that comes to mind. Yes, so it's high in calcium, but it has something we call oxalate.
Yes.
This binds the milk. It binds to the binds the
The
calcium,
calcium.
which makes the body unable to absorb it. You will not get it in small quantity, not like in large
Large
quantity,
quantity as
like
your body
yeah,
wants.
calcium rich foods. Aside from green leafy vegetables and milk,
Yes.
of course, we also know that fish also helps in
Yes.
calcium,
Yes.
especially this soft bone fish.
Yes.
Example is this fresh sardine.
Yes.
You know you can easily eat it with the bone.
Yes.
Yeah, it's also very good for calcium.
Yes.
Meat is necessary for a balanced meal. Like for your meal to be balanced, you have to eat meat. Like there should be meat in the food for it to be balanced. What do you have to say?
I don't quite agree with that. We all know that we have different sources of protein because when we are talking about meat, we're obviously talking about protein. So we know that we have other sources of protein. We have our fresh fish, we have our crayfish, we have our eggs, we have our dairy products as well. So, so you cannot just tell me that meat is necessary. So what do you tell the vegetarian or those on vegan diet? So I do not quite agree. It is a fallacy. For you to have an adequate, balanced diet, just make sure that your food contains the six classes of food. You don't necessarily just have to be only meat. It's just like telling somebody that for you to want to, if you're eating balanced diet, your carbohydrate food source has to be only rice.
And
It
again,
doesn't make sense.
it's not everybody that can afford meat.
Yes.
You know what the body needs is protein to function. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't really care about the source of that
Actually,
protein.
your body doesn't know if you ate meat or chicken or
It
if
can
what
be,
what
this,
is that
this
can
edible
eat extra.
termites.
Yes, yes,
It's
it's
very
also
affordable.
protein.
It's protein.
Uh-huh.
And it
So
can make your meal balanced.
very
We
good.
have this, we call it urumbo or something.
Those
Those
something
things,
like small
yes.
maggots. I mean,
Yes.
from
They
Plantain.
are all edible and they are very
Exactly.
affordable. They are cheap. They
Yes.
are in our localities. We
Mhm.
have mushroom. We have crayfish. People underrate crayfish.
Very,
They
very.
underrate it. They don't know the power. In fact, I think I should call it a superfood.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So it must not be meat. You mustn't have to go and buy chicken or maybe cow. In fact, talking about cow meat itself or other types of meat, for you to say it's balanced or it's good for your health, that means the fat in it has to be reduced or it shouldn't even have fat
Fat at all. Yes.
Which if you're eating something like crayfish now, you don't need to bother about that.
Exactly.
Fish, you don't need to bother
You
about
not be
that.
considering those other
Their
distinct
oils are
health
very good
hazards.
for your health.
Yes. So there's this new one that I want us to talk about that has to do with eggs.
Okay.
I can remember that when we were in school, lecturer used to tell us if you want to eat egg, don't eat more than three in a week or something like that. But and it's not also good for adults. At a point, she was even telling us that we, as of this our age, we are not supposed to be eating eggs just for children and the rest of them. Then came one certain time, I bought crate of egg just for the house. And I went out and I came back and my dad had boiled like three and eaten. And I was like, we will not cook it and serve him. That what are we expecting him to do this? I was like, they say elderly people are not supposed to eat eggs. So I was like, it's kind of confusing. And now we are hearing that actually they're supposed to eat eggs. They're supposed to eat eggs for children, even elderly people. Even the same thing as meat, but we'll not go to the part of meat. Let's just concentrate on that of this egg. So what do you have to say about it now that we found out that they can actually eat it?
Okay, first of all, as far as the person doesn't have hypercholesterol, like their cholesterol level is not high, they
Okay.
don't have any heart disease, they're not obese, they don't have type 2 diabetes, an elderly person can eat a whole egg.
Okay.
Yes. The person can even eat once every day. Nothing is wrong with it. As far as they do not have high cholesterol, they don't have any heart disease, they don't have diabetes, they don't have hypertension because fat and obesity is also a risk factor
Okay,
for
yes.
hypertension. So as
Yes.
far as you don't have any of those diseases, they actually eat egg. But the thing is, one, it's preferable to boil the egg, not fry. It shouldn't be fried. Then secondly, all these raw egg like eggnog, most times it's not well cooked.
Cooked.
Some of them are even prepared raw. Some of these drinks they make with egg, like that
Mm.
eggnog I'm telling you about, is not okay for an elderly person, especially to take raw egg. Though it's not good for anybody, but especially the elderly, they shouldn't even try it. So if they want to eat it, they should make sure it's boiled or scrambled with little oil. Yeah, that's what I have to
Okay. So at least now we've learned a new one that
say.
elderly people can actually take eggs so long as they don't have these diseases that
Diseases.
have to do with cholesterol or too much
Yeah.
fat in their body. And they actually need it because it contains protein. As they
Yes.
age, their bodies will be
Yes. Breaking
breaking
down.
down. So they actually need it to help build their
Their
cells and their
muscles,
body.
everything is coming, then their catabolic state.
Yes.
So at this point, they need high protein. And this is one
Okay.
of the ways to get quality protein. Egg has good protein, like
Yes.
quality protein.
Yes. Okay.
We've come to the end for today. It was nice having you here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on my channel.
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait to have you here next time as we have so much myths to debunk. There are so many things to discuss, and I would
Yes.
like to have, and I'm sure my viewers would like to have you here
I'll be
too.
here hopefully.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.